Boom! Hello, I'm Thundercloud. Hello, Skye. Hello, Ashley. Hello, everybody out there in virtual reality world. I'm Thundercloud. Welcome to the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame Wednesday Words on this 14th of June. Yeah, it is 2023. Well, let's begin with acknowledging the traditional custodians on which we broadcast tonight, the Camilloran Band by people, to acknowledge the continuing connection to the land of the elders and to acknowledge that sovereignty has never been ceded. All right, this week it's been a very interesting week here in Guyra. The loss of a good friend, Andrew. I got bitten by a dog while I was running and I fell over, and I learned all about forgiveness, and I already knew about that. I knew the importance. So anyway, so let's begin with a prayer for Andrew. When I saw, Vincent spoke to me and he said, yeah, I'll say a prayer for him, and so that prompted me to write the following. It's a prayer for you, Andrew. Now you're flying above, you can see all his love, and your pain is gone, you've now moved on. Rest in peace, Andy's spirit. Next life, another chance to sing, enjoy and dance, new beginnings or ends. Love from all of your friends. Rhythmic cycles, constant change. Time continues to pass by at the right time. Souls fly. Remembered as strong, Andrew, this is a prayer to honour you. The end of another friend above, sending our love. Yeah. So there, that's dedication to Andrew, our friend who's passed away this very week. I've recently published my new book, Djanbung's Peaceful Protest in Nimbin. I couldn't remember the name, yes I could. And you can get it online. It's part of the Love and Lust in Nimbin series of 4 books that I've published so far. Love in Nimbin, Lust in Nimbin, Poetry to End Prohibition. And Djanbung's Peaceful Protest in Nimbin, Djanbung being the Bundjalung word for platypus. And so I've selected a few of those, so I'm going to focus on them tonight. I'm not going to read anyone else's poetry but mine tonight. Because I did that last night. I did Charles Harper and Lesbia Harford. If you want to check out Chillin' Tuesday on YouTube, it's there. Do it. Yes, for sure. All right, this is a celebration of life. Happened one day I was sitting in Nimbin having a coffee at a cafe, and my friend Pete came up, and he'd just gotten back from Ballina, and he told me this story. He went into the chemist, and when he came out, I'd already written most of this. So this is Pete's story. Pete the surfer. 14, 16, 28, 44 in his head. I've had a great day, Pete the surfer said. I went down to Ballina. No one could get out. Even the jet ski driver wouldn't tow me out. The surf was too big, 4 metres or more. It was messy and swirly, no one could leave the shore. So I walked out the rock wall and I dived in a big rip, and it took me way out back on a roundabout trip. I was surfing alone, a pinprick from the shore, and I got some big rippers. 5 metres for sure. I was out in the big waves, I was surfing alone, it was bliss. I'm so happy, the wind wasn't blowing, it was glassy and smooth, and I got in a tube and it took me back 20 years to when I was a juvenile. I don't know what they'll say at the hospital tomorrow, Pete said. They've been working 2 years to fix this fuck leg, but I couldn't give a shit. I'll enjoy my life too. I'll sleep well tonight, I'm 72, but age doesn't matter. It's great to be alive, said Pete the surfer. I only feel 25. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful man, and yeah, I hope he's still alive. Yeah. This was written in 2018. We're 5 years down the track, so Peter be 70. Ooh, we have 5 years now. 77. And I reckon he'd still be getting into the surf too, definitely. and hopefully they've fixed up that ulcer. Yeah, basically it's a surf ulcer. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, I had a budgie when I used to live in Atlantis. Yeah. When I lived in Atlantis, I had a budgie. He was blue, and his name was Neptune. True story. What else would Thundercloud call his budgie that was blue?
Yeah.
Neptune, of course. Neptune's blue. Yeah. Anyway, one day I used to bring Neptune in his cage in at night time, and one night I forgot, and then he wasn't there. Yeah, there were a few boa constrictors or something around, yeah. Anyway, so I needed to get rid of his cage. So you advertise it, don't you? And this was how the advertising copy went. Neptune's cage. Neptune was a budgie. Neptune died of fright. A python freaked out Neptune in the middle of the night. Neptune was not a rooster. Neptune's feathers were blue. Something made poor Neptune fall off his perch, and this story is true. So, if you want to smuggle budgies, I hear it's all the rage, you can buy poor Neptune's budgie smuggling cage. There's one more thing though, it doesn't come with a heater. Its dimensions are 49 by 48 by 50 centimetre. So if you want a budgie cage, send a message to me. I'll ship it all around Australia and you'll find pictures on Gumtree. Poor old Neptune, yeah. Poor old Neptune, yeah. Oh yes, now this I've got a few little nonsense ones that I've sort of made up that are a little surrealistic. Surrealism, I don't know, whatever. And I like to sometimes play with words, like there's one I'm going to read to you later is the Flugal of Bliglash. But this is called perfagical. And while I was reading this in the lead up to tonight, I've decided to change the second last word from fake news to mainstream news. Perfagical is a word that came into my head. It means perfectly magical, my brain said. Magnificent is another one. It's a cross between magnificent and awesome. Now, amaze-tastic has just come out. My brain gives a brain fart shout. Ginormous is so very biggish. Big, wet, messy is an Ella pigfish. Giantzilla is humongous, monster, huge. While misinform educate is mainstream news. Yeah, misinform educate. Mainstream news. Yeah. So, glitch. Oh, how to be unhappy. How to be unhappy.
Yeah. To be told how to be unhappy.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I love it.
Well, see, apparently psychologically, if you tell people not to do something, then they do the opposite.
True.
Yeah. How to be unhappy. Be ashamed of yourself. Constantly blame yourself and others. Live in the past with regret. Hate others and be mean to them. I'm pretty much on the right track so far. Yeah. Say mean things so that you start arguments and fights. Yeah. Make you unhappy. Hurt people close, like friends and family with spiteful words. Yeah. Fear and reject everything, especially anything you don't understand. Want more for yourself and be greedy. Be attached to outcomes, material things and people. Stay as you are and don't change. Ignore and reject your dreams and aspirations. Consume poison. Don't socialise or call anyone, but when you do, make sure you tell them about how bad your life is and how it's someone else's fault. Watch dramatic TV and movies all day so you think it's acceptable to have to act like a 2-year-old. Don't go out, don't play, don't laugh, and don't smile. Stay angry and don't forgive. That's about it. Yeah, how to be unhappy. And so, yeah, I did have a bit of an experience today, and I've been having, having been sort of attacked and bitten by a dog and receiving some lacerations and falling over and getting a really bruised rib and lots of other grazes and stuff, and sore, dislocated kind of fingers, etc.
Did dislocate some fingers?
Oh, just this one, and that one's all been bruised here and stuff. But anyway, I'll get over. I'm over it. Yeah. I had to get over it, right? Because if I held the anger in there and shit, I didn't want to, because I want to, get it out and forgive. And so I was really fortunate that the lady whose dog it came in and apologised and to see how I was and offered me some money too, which I'm going to go and use to go and see an osteopath in a week so I can put my back in properly and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, I'm pretty lucky. If any, a lot of people could have been really hurt if they didn't know how to fall well. But it was pretty fast. Yeah, I was running and the dog attacked me. So. Anyway, I learned about forgiveness, and I didn't learn about it, I practiced it today. So, yeah, it's very important to practice forgiveness. These are from my Djanbung's peaceful protest in Nimbin. I got a couple more that I'm going to read now, and then I'm going to send it over to Skye Campen, who's back. Yay! No excitement. Inner peace. For inner peace, it helps if you are kind. Yeah, it does. With spiritual forgiveness and compassion bring you peace of mind. Nothing outside our souls, nothing outside can save our souls. So take self-responsibility for reaching spiritual goals. The essence of a spiritual life is a pure loving motivation, compassion and affection for all beings, for spiritual progress in every situation. I don't know, that was just something that I wrote. Enemies of the heart. All enemies can become friends. There's one enemy that must never be negotiated with, and that is the destructive enemy of the self. The enemy of the self consists of judgment, anger, hatred, attachment, jealousy, and fear. Love thy heart and thyself, and never let those enemies win. And finally, smile. It's all right to be kind. You can be loving too. Smiling's okay, and you don't have to feel blue. When you smile a smile, others feel happy. That's actually true, because they get on your dopamine stuff and your whatever. Your oxytocin actually. And when you frown, you feel crappy. It's all right to dance. You can sing your love true, create what you want, a life of bliss for you. When you smile with care and love inside, your love comes out and cannot hide. It's fine to be happy and a gentle human, create the peace you want and love your fellow humans. Life's too short to be angry, fearful, mad, teary or violent, make others feel sad. It's all right to be kind, you can be loving too, smiling's okay, you don't have to feel blue. When you smile a smile, others feel happy, but when you frown, you feel quite crappy. Yeah. It's actually like sticking a pen in your mouth like this, and walking around that releases oxytocin because it forces you to like make a smiley face. But yeah, you got to make sure your eyes go up and you crinkle your eyes because otherwise it's a fake smile. All right, Skye, you're up. All right, Skye Campen's back. She's been camping around all everywhere. I camped in Victoria and camped in Queensland. Now she's camped in Dwyer again. I don't know. Welcome back.
Yes, well, I thought I'll just do some of my poems I did for the Dirty 30.
Yeah.
That I did a while back. So, what have we got? This one. I really can't remember what the prompt was, but doesn't matter. I called it Subconsciously Sat. Whatever you like, whatever you lick, a sock, a wick, a stick. Ew, you're sick. Pick, pick. Pick a little pocket. Out comes fluffy bits. Confusion of solutions where fluffy bits do sit. Sitting on the step, baking in the sun. Playing with the shadows, oh, it's so much fun. Funny little bunny, hopping round the yard, thinking I would join him. I'm sure it's not too hard. Harder than I thought, bouncing round on bindies. Oh, these red sore knees, underneath the trees. Trees of autumn leaves, orange, reds and yellow. And underneath the eaves, I sit, just feeling mellow. Oh, hello.
Hi. Yeah, that's lovely. It's good in your voice too, like it's different to when I read it.
Did you read that one?
Mm.
Oh, I can't
Maybe.
remember. I was like trying to get the one you didn't read. Oh, you might have actually.
I don't know.
Yes. Anyway. Okay, so I'm thinking. Wakening a loss. I'm lost. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry. Start again. That was something. Here it is. Might have been a free writing day. Free write, free rights. It's my free right to eat them. Not their right, but mine. What do you mean you can't eat me? No, I have the free right to live and be left alone. Body integrity and all that shit. We breed these animals to use as we wish. No, I did not. I did not impregnate her or give birth to that kid. Sure, I did not breed them, but I enslaved them, and so I own them. I can do whatever I want with them. I don't care if you give birth to me and raise me. I don't think you have the right to eat me and do whatever you want with me. You don't own me. I want to live. If you stab me with a knife, it will hurt. I will cry. I will cry out in pain. I want to live. I want to love. I want to enjoy the beauty of this world. All right, I see your knife, your point.
I did read that one.
Did
Yeah.
you read that one?
Yeah, I can read that.
I don't know if you did. You read the conspiracy of the day?
Maybe, I'm not sure. You're going to read it now.
Oh, yeah, I'll read this one. Yes. It was about a day conspiring against you, feeling, and yeah, I think overcoming it. Anyway, it's conspiracy of a day or a year playing on the ear. Put it in gear, slipping from the rear. What is that I hear? Bogged in mud I fear, jacked up, I need a beer. Sinking in the mud, oh dear, chopped it up, tear by tear. The spanner it was near, I'm sure it was just here. Down the engine bay I peer, ow, my arm I sear. My friend he could not help but jeer. I cried a tear. I know it's queer, but it was a shitty atmosphere. I tried to steer, rolling it out of the bog, it veered. My friend had mud from ear to ear, and I, just a mere smear. Rolling towards a pier, driving away across the weir, forgetting my friend, old King Lear, and the Jack. Oh dear.
Oh, give her a cheer. Oh, alliteration.
Very interesting.
Yeah, give her a cheer. All right. Well, I'm just going to read one now before I ask Ashley to come on up. Going the rock, it's called, going around on a rock about the sun, spinning on the earth. Flying in space is fun. What are you doing? Where is your directive? You live on a big rock. It's one big collective. Why fight and get angry? We all should be friends. Life on a rock and then your life ends. Travelling through space on a rock altogether. It's all about perspective. Let's all work together. Because flying through space on a rock should be fun. As the moon spins around us, we spin around the sun on a far distant arm of a Milky Way galaxy, enjoying my life in the shade of a tree. Dancing with, laughing with friends, living and loving together on a rock about the sun in peace and love and health forever.
Beautiful.
Yeah, on a rock.
Yeah.
A big rock.
Yeah.
Rock the Skye rocks.
Wow.
Ashley Rocks, welcome Ashley Albanese, welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here we are again, and I must remember to bring my friends, my rule of rules.
Oh, well, I've got something really quite...
Oh,
you go.
Oh, I've got so many that...
There's three
I've got
rules.
so many. I live like this. I have multiples of everything because now I get into towards my mid-70s. I've still got a long reach, but not as sharp a one. Well, these are new beings of measure. My hypothesis, my implication. My goodness me, some schoolmaster in 1921 used this to show the world a great spread of red for our empire across the map. And I need a third one. We must have testing of that or the implications of it. Well, times change. Things roll. I will begin with a poem written and read at the Poets Club in Armidale last week. And it has a charm. Brian Neville wrote it. And then I will read a poem that was very difficult for me to write. This is Armidale Autumn. Some call it the fall, that time when leaves leave their branches, the sun turns down its heat, and dogs demand their winter coats. Arrgh! And a James Warren kneecap to bite off. No, I'll have to start the poem again. Sorry about that. Descent into doggy cannibalism. Don't laugh, Skye. It's pitiable. Ruff, ruff. Armadale Autumn. Some call it the fall, that time when leaves leave their branches, and the sun turns down its heat, and dogs demand their winter coats. But I prefer the word autumn, for that sweet cold time of year, bold bright coloured leaves abound around our feet. Cool time of year with that promise of cold, yet still tinged with warm melancholy of the past summer sun, no longer smiling strongly. Leaves, please drop slowly. Let your colours stay a little longer tomorrow than you've done today. Very charming. Now, the poem I wrote today. I wonder if by fate's wheel any of my friends in Berlin watch this to hear this sad lament. It begins with a gesture for Carsten Licht, for Carsten Light, my friend from the beaches at Brunswick Heads, where we would walk many an hour and many a kilometre discussing these things together. And the German words from Alte Kameraden that ends the joyous but tragic lament. Sind wir alt, das Herz bleibt jung, schwelgen in Erinnerung. Trinket aus und schenket ein und lasst uns alte Kameraden sein. In English that says, and like all good writing, it's untranslatable, but in English it says, even if we're old, the heart stays young, delighting in memories. Drink up and pour again, and let's be old comrades. Of course, so many people who've sung and sing that song don't have the opportunity to become old comrades. So I wrote this, and it's called On the Dnieper Banks, My Uncle's Bones. I have a slide that shields his smile from coming on of snow. His orders are obscure at best, a push south to knock the Englander. To pitch our panzers on the Ganges side. I look to his beer stein alone now, from its comrades' table. Dad left the government papers shrined within. Missing in action on the river's side, he sacrificed his life for his fellow soldiers and the Reich. On Dnieper banks, my uncle's bones. And once again, the Eincross shadows Ivan's furrowing ploughlands. On leave, he'd gaze out window eastwards and calculate how many steps from bottom stairwell through to Vladivostok. Uncle said, all was prepared to roll on south, but orders set straight east into a dawn light. He'd rushed to find and pack his girter, lent to a captain down the line. Last leave, he said, there'll be no other, and in his polished boots could not quite find a face. On Dnieper banks, my uncle's bones. So oft to victory, his victory, he goes. Well, Paul, we'll be singing Alte Kameraden on the rails sliding east, and west beneath us on the way. His last words, Dad said, and a silent lift of schnapps. On Dnieper banks the other day, under a hail of neat ballistics and a sudden flood, he and his comrades' bones rose up to a wheeling perfect fate again, of flush cream calcium streaks held against soil rich black bindings from Ukrainian mud. Ah, his bones, on Dnieper sides, on Dnieper banks, again his bones, resurrection rings. Yes, I think Erinnerungen, which has all sorts of memories in German, obviously carries in its field Erinnerungen of memory, something ringing and returning and coming again. Like the bones of alte Kameraden coming up in the Ukrainian mud, as they literally did not many hours ago. I will finish tonight with something serendipitously from a wonderful poetry workshop book that kids had in the 50s and 60s and no longer have, unfortunately. But before I read that, I would not talk about what I have been reading, because I think my poem to my friends in Berlin frames what I have been reading and studying. But I went to the movies last night and I saw a film, an Australian film about an Aboriginal girl who has problems, and her uncle sends her out with a tech course photographing the Kimberleys in the northwest. And there's a charming, she's an Aboriginal girl, there's a charming South American photographer who's teaching her, and 4 other young people around about 15 to 18, 19, who are all more or less problematic. And I enjoyed it. I thought, the point being I'm coming to, I thought I'm enjoying this, beautiful landscapes. She, the young Aboriginal girl, bodes to have a very, very big career as an actress. I would suspect on stage and screen. I thought she had an amazingly powerful presence. And so I'm having fun, and I'm glad I came. And I woke up this morning and the images started rising up and coming to my mind. It's a very powerful piece, Sweet As. It's a film I really recommend. And talking to the young girls at the ticket office, they said it didn't have big audiences, disappointing audiences at Armidale, and I left the theatre thinking how sad that senior high school students didn't see it and discuss it with their peers, because such a film allows you to keep on peering in that sort of Aussie way. Anyway, I'll have a Vegemite sandwich before I go to bed tonight. Oh, serendipitously, I got another sad poem about war, but I will read it, because I love the writer, Vance Palmer. If I was to recommend something of Australiana, it would be his great novel, I think very great, The Passage, which is set in the territory where my family's life has had lots of splendour and lit afternoons up around Caloundra, north of Brisbane. This is a poem I always loved. Strangers should turn up when I open tonight. But it is germane, which means relevant in one particular spelling. The farmer remembers the song. Will they never fade or pass, the mud and the misty figures endlessly coming in file through the foul morass, and the grey flood water lipping the reeds and grass, and the steel wings drumming. The hills are bright in the sun, there's nothing changed or marred in the well-known places. When work for the day is done, there's talk and quiet laughter and gleams of fun on the old folks' faces. I have returned to these, the farm and the kindly bush and the young calves lowing, but all that my mind sees is a quaking bog in the mist, stark snap trees and the dark song flowing. Strange I should open the page at that tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashley. Yeah.
Strange serendipitousness between the two poems, isn't it? Rather than that.
Yeah.
He was a very major figure in our history, Vance Palmer. Forgotten now, but soon to be remembered.
Well, a few little kind of silly things I've written this week. Okay. Well, let's begin with life is never shit, even if a dog bit me. My tits and bits are sore. I got friends, fresh air, and what more could I really ask for? An attitude of gratitude. I don't mean a thoughtless platitude, but acceptance. Let go. You know, move on with the flow. Ride the river's course, taken by the source, the well, the spring, where knowledge becomes understanding, creating, when applied, morphs into wisdom from kingdom come. Ain't being dumbly, or comely, I guess. I have digressed, therefore, despite the trouble and strife we nurture life, with lessons we learn, earn, continually discern, at the heads of most rivers are waterfalls that churn. But the river doesn't stop from the bottom to the top. When a rock's in the way, the water flows another way to the sea, calm or rough. Life's not tough, but we become tough from knocks on rocks and stuff, not become gruff. But thankful for life, the wind blowing and more, waves upon the shore of existence. Oh yeah. Now this is kind of based on a kind of a not a true story, yeah, about the anyway, yeah, but it's not. It's actually not a true story. So right, they arrived in the small country town with a pop. A Bulgarian, Nigerian, and a Pakistani was their boss. They opened a smartphone and computer fixing shop with crypto mining rig, then disappeared without a loss. The bills unpaid, abandoned tables and chairs, empty computer servers were strewn about. They came and left without any cares, and every device had the hard drive pulled out. Grandma Gray was sitting at home after they left. There was a knock on the door by the federal police. We're looking for evidence of identity theft. The Bulgarian, Nigerian and Pakistani had fled. Old Granny Gray had her identity taken away, so she went to the place where they registered names. She chose to be a teenage boy. It was a lucky day. Adopted a new identity as a boy named James. It's only because it rhymes with names, okay, not me. As a teenage boy, she became a computer hacker, learning from the best hackers of the dark net, then became a vigilante computer hacker tracker and give them all a lesson they'd not forget. Teenage Grandma James would find them in the night, sitting hunched over their rooms, in their rooms over their blue screens, and she'd cut off their hands to give them a fright with a Nokia 3310 taped in their mouth to muffle their screams. Fear in their eyes, she'd tell them to relax, and say, don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Then chop off their left hands with an axe and had to take an extra swing all through to chop right through. The videos she made went viral on the dark web, so she started up an OnlyFans account. As teenage boy ex-Granny Gray, she made her Deb, selling photos of her hands. She made a huge amount. She arrived back in town with a pop, with a grand idea, a goal and a plan. Granny Gray's ethical computer hacking shop. Her first job to find a Bulgarian, Pakistani and a Nigerian. Good old Granny Gray, yeah. All right. Here we go. I don't know, like, yeah, this one just came out. I don't know where this came from. It just did. as they sometimes do, probably early in the morning. The old dray walked away. Had been pulling carts for many a day. The old dray had nothing to say, just walked away without even a name. From his old life, which he didn't choose, when he discovered that he was abused to pull heavy carts, he had been used, cognitive dissonance made him confused. He walked till he found a field of clover. It was fenced, so he jumped over, but it didn't take long to discover in the field was a dog named Rover. The clouds rolled in and the sky was grey. He jumped the fence and galloped away, looking for a place to feed and play. Got down on his knees and began to pray. I've worked very hard all my life. I was fed but beaten. It wasn't very nice. Now I'm looking for a life of paradise. Green grass and clover would be a surprise. For umpteen years I've worked to survive. I've had an epiphany and realised life is abundant and we can all thrive instead of slaving away barely alive. Grey dray sat and thought, life is great. Now I'm free, the life I'll create. A mare came along, he said, "G'day, mate. My name's Dray. Do you believe in fate?" Mare replied, "Dray, you're quite cute. I know a field where the grass is beaut. Come with me and we'll have a hoot." He kissed her on the neck and he slapped her on the glute. Mare was putty in that field. Dray took the lead. Mare did you. Life was fantastic. Their time's wild. Past life's gone. Their new life's revealed. The grass was green, nutritious and raw. Dray and Mare couldn't ask for more. Grateful life was abundant, not poor. So into their life they brought one more. Young Dray felt life had no purpose, bored in the field as a horse of service, often depressed, anxious and nervous, so open to vegetable delivery service. Young Dray has a cart and works hard, building up business Dray's veggie cart. His dad, old Dray, gives him a push start, then goes for a gallop off around the yard. That's that. Yeah, old Dray. Yeah. And I've got one more. All right, well, it's the end of the night, and I have got one more.
Sing us a song.
Oh, well, okay.
A winter song.
All right, actually, no, I have got a song for you. I've just got to find a backing track to go with it, but I do have a backing track for this. If I go into my library here, and I go into where are we? Thundercloud poetry, hip hop instrumentals. That looks like there could be something in there. And I do have something marked in here.
You're an inimitable singer.
Oh well, yeah, Mad Lion.
More inimitable than bull. Inimitable fish. Inimit fish.
I hope this is the right one.
Inimit fishable.
Doesn't sound like the right one.
Did you do this on Nimbin streets?
Oh, I would have.
In the red light?
Yeah. I pretty much would have. Yeah. Oh no, this would be this one. I reckon this sounds. The baby hyena. No, it's probably not even that one either, but I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. This hip hop opera sampled beat. Lion rhythms. No, oh look, okay, I'm not going to do it without singing it. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's called The Baby Hyena Set. It usually does have a hip hop track to back it with, but I really, honestly, I can't find which one it was. I thought it might be this hard trap, Lion Beat or King Lion. I'll try it. It doesn't sound like the one, but anyway. Okay, boo-hoo. I don't know what to do. My mum has turned into a giant lion poo. I wish that lion was dead, the baby hyena said. My dad is quite absurd. He's been changed into a giant lion turd. There's no laughing to be heard. I'm giving you my word. The lion will soon be dead, the baby hyena said. Shit, what should I think of it? My brother's now a lion shit. He's swallowed down in just one hit. My sister's also lion shit. I'll bite off that lion's head, the baby hyena said. She jumped onto the lion. She said, do you feel like dying? I used to feel like crying. Now I'm tearing strips and bits off lion. I just bit a lion's head, the baby hyena said. I've had enough of it. You turned my family into lion shit. As she ripped and scratched and bit, you'll soon be hyena shit. All my family is dead. The baby hyena said. Lion, you're going down, and soon you'll be hyena brown. As she swallowed bits of lion down, the lion gave a final frown and said, I'll soon be dead. Hyena jaws clenched round its head. That was the end of it. Lion's now hyena shit, because I ripped and scratched and bit. And ate every little bit of it. The lion is now dead. The baby hyena said.
Very funny.
It's a revengeful poem, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and actually it's the music, if I had the music there, it could be gone, it could be deleted video, whatever. Yeah, it goes much better with music. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you very much for joining us. Poetry Hall of Fame news. Don't forget, in a little over 7 weeks, we've got 60 days, 8 weeks. The Australian Poetry Slam hit here on a Wednesday night. So Tuesday night we've got the Poets workshop, and Wednesday night, the 15th and 16th of August. So it's your opportunity to get to compete at the New South Wales Poetry Slam Championship and get to the Australian final. Yeah, so get your slam on. It's a 2-minute thing. What else is happening on the 22nd? I think it's the 22nd of July. We've also got Fiore Musicale coming up here to do an afternoon show on a Saturday afternoon. So check that out as well. And the Poetry Film Festival and the New South Wales Bush Poetry Championship in November here. So yes. And don't forget, while you're listening to this, smash that thumbs up button. Well, that's what they say, isn't it? Smash the likes button. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for notifications of new videos every week. Yeah, and share it with your friends too, because they need to see this. See you later. Okay.